everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Cove Club, your one-stop shop for all behind-the-scenes stuff and in-house interviews. Joining me today is, of course, the lead actors for our recent mini-series that, oh my god, every night when I fall asleep I have the Vietnam flashbacks of me and Nick arguing, him with his young son of Maury just still looking at him angrily about why didn't you change his diaper, and then he's looking at me angrily like where are the lines, and I'm like fuck your lines, where are the sound effects, and we're arguing for about 5.5 days straight, and then when it's all done there's an episode finished, and then the choppers start rolling in from Charlie. I'm sorry, I had like a very weird moment. Anyway, joining me for this episode is SmittySmash and Disney Dude, aka DizVoices.
Hello.
Hiya.
They just literally heard me have this moment. They're just like, oh god, I'm kind of scared of my own boss right now. Is he about to pull out a gun Rambo style and shoot up the area? No. No, I am not. Because I got a pork chop in my fucking lap.
You got a pork chop in your lap? Goodness gracious.
I'm not even I'm literally eating a pork chop while trying to do this commentary interview sandwich. But I'm just gonna have a nice little seat first, because y'all know how this goes. Y'all seen the Veiled Garden episode installments. We're gonna do the same thing here, where these two are gonna be the audience insert, asking you the questions you wanted to ask about the series that you didn't really feel like you'd have to in the comments or on Twitter or wherever you're gonna probably see, maybe on Reddit or something. Probably because at some point someone's gonna put it on Pornhub as a joke.
Oh, good.
Oh my.
Always wanted to have a Hollow Sands Pornhub moment.
We'll see. In the script, you never told us to do like battlegrounds or stuff, so they can't use that material.
Hollow Sands, more like hollow holes. I will leave now. No. He's just losing his mind.
I lost my mind years ago, guys, but let the questions begin. I am all ears.
What was the hardest episode of Hollow Sands to write?
Hardest to write? Episodes 3 and 4, because there was a lot of stuff that had to be cut. Like, I was sitting at my usual spot where at the time I was trying to rewatch Magnificent 7, because I was trying to base heavily off one of the combat scenes for one of the older adaptations of it. And then the more I kept trying to go through the old drafts where there was supposed to be like a full-on bandit fight for the mage and the Medjai, where not only are they fighting Lewis the Bloodhound, but like 1,300 people just buried in the sands with guns ready. I then just thought to myself, like, this seems too excessive for a mini-series, especially for what we have planned for Julius in later installments for his own show he's going to be in. So why have that? Just tone it back down. Then episode 3, it's like, I want to have an actual serious moment where you guys can see that these two are very different for a lot of different reasons about methodologies, not only from their standalone episodes, but because of how their minds work. With the Medjai being, of course, the straightforward cut first, ask questions later, and then the Medjai, and then the mage is like, let's be strategic, let's plot out everything to be down to a T if we have time for preparation. It's a weird dichotomy.
Alright. What if it's with the two halves, one whole thing?
Two halves, one whole thing? What do you mean? What do you mean?
The whole Julius thing.
Oh, that's actually a funny story. So, originally, Julius's whole thing... This is tying back, of course, to the volumes that we had that pointed out the apprentices to Savitar that join up to be the 13 apprentices, which I'm going to explain a weird thing about that in a future series, but Julius is actually 5 people into one originally. From his universe, when you reach a certain age, you have to have 5 soul beings that are basically like your soul siblings, and you do this ceremony where you're bonded for life into one being, to where your consciousness, although can be separate, is literally one whole wind being to be bonded to the sky. From that ratio, they kept going on and on with their adventures, of course, for 2,805 years. But because of how they were split apart by Dorothea, it was only 2 people that emerged as the only dominant consciousness within Julius. Like, that's the only reason there weren't, like, 3 other people running around, because that would have been very, very weird.
I mean, it's a fair enough point.
Yeah.
How long have you thought about like writing these characters and like rewriting these characters, you know, coming up with this complex story and everything?
For the Hollow Sands narrative,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, Julius was the only one that was the easiest to write for, because from when I wrote the manga series where he came from back in the day, Julius wasn't really that standout of a character. He was more of the... He wasn't comic relief. That's Sue every day. Sue is comic relief as being the only human in the group. But Julius was like the charmer, the one that tried to get every single man and woman within a 5-block radius. He would be the one that would get in the most trouble, but also be able to handle himself while hanging out with a revenant and a bull demon as his main friends. So, transitioning that into having 2 dominant beings being in this one world where it's nonstop desert for miles upon miles, it wasn't really that hard, but the hardest one was just making their separate love interest of Sasani and Petra, because I love djinns. Djinns are my favorite thing to ever research from any mythology. They're mysterious, but they can also be super sexy. They're very conniving, but also very heartwarming. They're deadly as hell, but they can also be your best friends.
Thank you for describing me. But what about the...
Ooh.
It's over there. Ooh. I don't know what other questions to ask. Why the desert setting? Like, was it just for, like, because you like the, you know, the idea of djinns and everything?
I am sorry, my headphones cut out the wrong
Damn
one.
it.
What you...
Why was it the desert setting that you went with for Hollow Sands, and not just because of the name, but like that whole gist of it?
Oh, that's easy. So, for me, I like doing stuff with symbolism for a lot of my shows. Like, for when people saw snippets of this series being set in Let's Do Art, this series in Notorious, this person in Lost Tides, this person in Mosaic Ink, everything has a weird meaning to it. Hollow Sands is no different. A desert world reflects that of someone's inner world, basically, of they're always lost in it without ever having a semblance of a singularity. The duality of being in a harsh environment but can also breed in life can be a very hazardous and very dangerous thing. It dwindles into your own soul to where the further you're apart from your singularity, the more the problems start growing and building until you finally have succumbed to the darkness that is the desert. Much like how the twin deaths of the Magi and the Mage are very symbolic to that of the desert swallowing whole anyone that can just go in blindly saying, I can do all this, that, and the third thing, and then end up as skeletons being swallowed up by the winds and the sand surrounding it. But when the singularity comes into play, when you're all one being, prepared, strong, and ready, you don't have those issues because then it's all a calm field around you. There's no tumbling dunes, there's no venomous anything. There's a lot of clarity. And that's why I went with the whole thing of the desert setting.
Nice. I like that. Diz, if you have a question, I want you to go for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay?
Do you have one?
Go ahead.
Because I just thought of one.
Hey, we're embodying our characters right now. I'm thinking way too much. No.
We're embodying our characters. We're thinking at the same time, but we can never think of anything. We can't think of shit. Fuck. Okay.
What were the best dialogue and between which two characters? I always love dialogues between characters. So what was the most fun to write between there? Like which two characters or which three characters or
honestly
just which banter?
As much as I loved Medjai and Mage, I liked the whole thing between Julius and Oswin the most because it seemed like a whole... Like, I don't know, I've always loved Oswin the most when I made my manga because it's a giant dog, but he acts like a puppy most days, even though he's old as shit. And you have Julius being like the only person that would hang out with this giant dog like he's no problem, no anything. And like that small interaction was enough for me because that made me smile. Like anyone who loves dogs would smile at that moment. But another one I would say would be my favorite would be between... Actually, it would be between Mage and Petra, because not only was it very sweet, even though it was brief, but the fact that Diz, even though he didn't know that Amanda Huford would be the guest star, tried pulling so much of that shy energy, like, oh, this is my wife. Is it getting hot in here? Cause, hi, honey. Right, guy trying to kill us.
Spicy.
It hit different for me, just how great it was.
What?
All right, calm.
What was the character that was I don't think Diz already asked this. What was the character that was the hardest to write for? I don't know if you just asked this earlier. Like
the hardest to write for?
Yeah.
God, that's tough. I would have to say... Well, I can't really give away a lot of spoilers for the people at home because only you guys need to know about certain things happening as I just smack my mic like, get your shit together. I would have to say the hardest person to write for was Bride, because Bride is a very interesting character, but it's weird trying to write a lot of her personality but not give away the spoilers to how big her personality. Like, the fact that she was so easily harmed is not really a thing that's supposed to happen for, like, a long time. And the fact that I had to write it then and there as, like, a whole thing of maybe it was, like, her off day, maybe it wasn't. It's a weird thing because it's a character tied to someone that's super powerful enough to rip apart someone that can harm a Thane of an unknown organization or certain things, but we don't know how powerful this person is because they're downplayed for the moment. And that's weird for me because I don't like downplaying big threats because that feels cheap to me. But I had to because she's important to their story at the moment. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you kind of like, you want to show off more, but it's just like, I can't right now. It's downplayed. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it down here.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Brad. I know you fictional, but I'm sorry.
Uh, Go ahead if you have one.
I was just sighing.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was
Everybody was doing. Let's see. Gosh dang.
How long? how long like were you planning to get this out to people? How much thought process was put into it? Like, just how long have you been working on this so that you made sure that all the writing was done the way you wanted it, all the characters were developed as you wanted them, and just how you wanted it to be? How long was that process?
Honestly, guys, I've plotted out every single storyline for every show that I could or could not make the moment we made Writers Cove Studios. Like, that is not even a joke. The moment we started the whole team, I was plotting out every single show I could make with every storyline, every single character I could make, even alternate characters if certain characters don't work or just want to make a different narrative that can be better explored. I've plotted out everything since we made the team, like, a few years back, to where now I can look back on all the notes I've made, and even when we're about to get all the stuff written out for you guys, the cast, I'm literally still in the storyboard trying to export different angles to the storyline I already plotted out years ago to make it a little bit more condensed for y'all, because for me, I like to play different 4D chess moves with certain stuff, but that's way out of my whole tech at the moment. So I gotta be like 2D chess and have it to where everyone can be on the same page as me, because I plot out stuff way too far ahead while y'all have to be like, hold on, boss, hold on. Now, who's the person wearing the size 9 Reeboks?
Yeah.
Because that's important.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like, when those last few episodes of Hollow Sands hit and all the other characters came in, I had to reread those scripts a few times.
Because it's like,
dang it, headphones,
wait
why?
a minute.
God dang it, headphones, you died on me again.
Ah!
I'll hear it when I'm getting all the audio together. It's fine. It's fine.
But
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, on the same level as you, Diz. It's just like you're looking at it, it's like, wait, is this right?
Exactly. Basically, what we said, or what we were alluding to here, is the fact that those last couple of episodes, where all the other characters come in, I was getting a little lost in the story, trying to figure out where everybody was placed. And so I had to reread it like 3 or 4 times in order to be like, okay, this character goes here, this character goes here, this character... Okay, my character is here, all right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm like playing a game of chess very ahead of the curve, and y'all are like, boss, could you clue us in on this chess? No. Okay.
Just roll with it. Just trust me.
Plus, if I just wrote all the stuff they did in the 4 days leading up into episode 5, y'all be like, wait, why do we have to find out that Mage takes a shower with Rose body wash?
Because he was sponsored by Rose Body Wash, of course.
Of course.
And then stuff like, how come Medjai got robbed by a 12-year-old?
We don't talk about that.
Like, literally, those are moments I skipped over because no one wants to be like, oh, okay, so Mage got some Rose body wash on his person all the time, and Medjai got robbed by a 12-year-old. he almost got put into male sex slavery with these 3 hot housewives that barely ever wear clothes when they're out their houses. No one wants to just go through these weird shenanigans. They want to focus on the main plot.
Sorry.
Otherwise, we're sitting there like an anime saying, "Hey, here's all the filler."
Here's the filler, guys. We'll get you back to the main plot. Just hang on.
Next time in Hollow Sands, will the mage be able to find more rose body wash?
Oh my lord.
You see why I had to do that whole skip in the middle between episodes 4 and 5? No one wants that shit.
It might be an interesting question to a couple people. Are you planning on making either some kind of sequel series on this or a prequel series?
I was gonna do a prequel series explaining like what the hell Dorothea did to her friends, because if y'all have not pieced it together, Dorothea is like one of the most powerful bad guys in the entirety of Phase 1. The fact that she can go in the presence of creator deities and pretty much just bitch them out or play mind games with them can show you she's a very deadly woman. And she split Julius into 2 fucking people and impaled a giant dog into the bedrock of a pyramid, drained the powers out of 5 of her friends, killed an immortal vampire without the use of a stake or ripping his head off, just straight up fucking killed him, almost vaporized a goo person into atoms. Like, she is a very deadly woman.
Right.
And I want to do a prequel on that, but the problem is I need to hear from other people if they want that, because that's a very big thing to get into. Like, that's almost a feature film-length audio series for you guys.
Oof.
Hey, if you want to do it, go nuts. I'm always going to support that.
Meanwhile, there is a sequel.
The miniseries. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Diz.
I was just gonna say. I mean, you said it was like feature length, but if you combine all the 7 episodes of Hollow Sands, it's nearly a movie length anyway.
I mean, yeah, but then for a sequel, there's another miniseries tied into this because these 2 miniseries are leading into a brand new show in the main universe, which is going to be tied into Lost Tides, Mosaic Inc., Notorious, Let's Do Art, and another show I can't talk about because it's not 2021 yet, and even Veiled Garden, since it's in the same universe.
Huh. What character do you despise?
Yeah, there's going to be more. What character do I despise?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Fuck.
Everyone's got a baby character that they love, and everyone's got a baby that they hate.
God, I can't even discern which one is. I'd have to say the barkeep.
The barkeep.
Poor barkeep.
I fucking hate
All
the
he's doing
barkeep,
is serving
man.
beer.
Like the only thing that was interesting about him was the fact that that and Twister Tears.
Hello?
That and Twister fucking
No!
Tears. But
So
the
sorry,
fact
your audio
of-
cut out,
The
and we
fact of
thought
the
you
matter was
disconnected.
the only reason he's very important was because one. Oh no, it's my fucking headphones. It's fine.
Okay.
So the only interesting thing is that the barkeep is responsible for why the mage is the mage to begin with, because he is like one of the instructors that approved the mage to join the Royal Academy of Magics. Which
Thank
is
you, barkeep.
bullshit.
Thank you, barkeep.
And like that's about it. That's the only reason he's as important as he is, but it's like he's kind of just fucking boring. What do you do all day? I sling some beers and I make twister tears.
Twisted Tears. Oh my lord.
Those gosh darn booze slingers.
And I'm just like, I fucking hate you, dude. Your wife does more than you.
Do
I'm
more,
sorry, his
please.
ex-wife.
Ex-wife for 15 years.
But I believe I have tortured Diz and Smitty long enough with asking questions for me.
Please.
Because now it is time for me to flip tables on them.
Just
Ow.
just
We are now
destroy your
entering
entire
the
setup.
in-house interview segment.
All right.
I literally just had to destroy
Hopefully
my own
my
fucking
answers
desk
will be
to do that.
satisfactory.
So, you guys have already heard Smitty, of course, as the Magi, and heard a snippet of him as Jude Cantor for an upcoming show in 2021, which is going to be consuming my own fucking life, because that show is so huge!
Hey.
Oh.
That motherfucker
I'm
Jude
okay.
Jude.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And you've also heard Diz, of course, as the mage, but he's also going to be in some stuff for Lost Tides coming out in this month.
Huzzah!
So, my whole thing I want to ask for you guys
He
is
keeps
just...
going in and out.
Woo!
You're sorry, we're
My
not
headphones
unenthusiastic
keep on
about
cutting
what we've
out
done
where
for
y'all
the
are talking,
studio.
so...
It's just your headset keeps cutting out, man. So
goddamn
we're just sitting
headphones,
here
you
like,
cheap pieces of shit.
yeah, sure.
Woo!
But I want to ask you guys, for all of these current roles that are in development, what can you tell the audience is like your favorite memory without giving away anything?
Of the ones we've voiced for already?
Voiced for already and stuff that's not published yet. Like, you can talk about the stuff in detail, the stuff that has been released, but keep it vague for the stuff that has been released.
Let's see. Smitty, do you want to go first?
Sure. What I like about Jude is he's a bit of a brat. He's pretty much a novice. That's the word. Yeah, he's a novice when it comes to what he has to do and figuring out his powers and stuff. And I'm trying so hard not to say anything that could be spoilers here. But while getting a grip with his powers, he's still too much of like he's got too much of an ego to keep a level head and just like learn. He just wants to face everything head on, and I kind of relate with that because the best, for me at least, when it came to acting and everything, is that the best experience you can learn head on. And not just from like reading a book or anything. Like, you have to learn how to, react based off, like, acting is all about reacting. You're building off of other people's, actions and how they talk and everything. And that's pretty cool. And Jude kind of relates to me as like a younger version of myself. He's a bit of a, like, he's a bit naive is what I'm trying to say. Gotta love those naive boys.
I'm trying to think. I know I'll have a lot of fun with the Lost Tides character that I have, because I'm not normally cast as that type of character. As far as stuff that's already been published, I think other than Hollow Sands, it's just that one short where I was like a child for one line.
At least you weren't Heracles just being told by your dad, here's a wife, I might fuck her in the future, but it's your wife right now.
Yeah. Which, funny story on that child, I sent like 5 different child voices. and like I even sent a gag one that you didn't use that I just wanted to throw you for a loop on.
You did.
But yeah. But yeah, as far as other characters, the one character I play in Crescendo is kind of fun. I can definitely relate to him with the no cussing. Let's see, what else? I'll be interested to see the one other guy that you absolutely hate, Vince, that I'm playing.
You know, that one guy, and then he just like, woo.
So that'll be interesting to start voicing later on.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Captain Red, that weirdo.
I'm okay.
He says, I'm okay. Get your hands off me. We're fine. Like he's being held back by his kids. Sorry, I made myself laugh with that one. Captain Red is a weirdo. That's great.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. But this is a question I like asking you guys because since I get to talk to you a bunch of times, like I get a feel. But I usually ask this on behalf of the other founders because they don't have all the time to chat with you guys like I do. Because they're just like, okay, so we're just gonna go off and do this, that, and the third thing. You gonna be okay? It's like, when am I not okay? The better question is, when are you okay? And then I'm just like, you right. So,
yeah.
My main question on behalf of them to ask you guys is, how do you both feel within the studio? Like, what are your general, like, day-to-day thoughts from joining to now?
Diz, do you want to go first, or?
Day-to-day thoughts about Writers Cove as a whole?
From when you joined to current. Yeah.
Okay.
Like from when you joined to now, like from when you started, when we brought you into the whole fold to current.
Well, I will always remember my interview with you because we were both eating Subway sandwiches. But
Oh my lord, bonding over Subway.
I remember sitting out in my car eating and thinking, oh, this is a really cool guy. This seems like a really cool group. I'm glad they actually noticed me because I had the worst luck up until you guys with casting call. Like, nobody was really looking at me. So I was just excited to be in a group that looked like they were pretty serious about their stuff. And it's been fun. Did a few group activities early on. I got to see how many characters I was cast as when I got in here, which was quite a few. I was not expecting to be cast as like 6 different characters right off the bat. And yeah, it's been pretty fun. Everybody's chill. Everybody's really passionate about their projects. It's been fun seeing, hearing, the just either the big projects or the little mini series or snippet pieces, skits we've done. Um, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty fun group, and I've grown to really enjoy listening to all your guys' voices. And it's been a whole year now, and I can't believe it.
Dead
Oh
nice.
hell, I don't even know how long it's been. Oh, like, yeah, like it's the time flies. Um, I remember because I was in a completely different environment, so that was maybe a year and a half ago or something. Like I was like I had a different setup entirely. I think I had an AT 2020 USB, and I had auditioned for the understudy of Jude, and like I was just like, okay, he's seems like a decent character, and I mean, I'm just auditioning for. I think that was the one that was there. I think I don't remember how many characters were actually in that casting call. I just remember that Jude popped out to me. And then yeah, like Vince was like, "Hey, yeah, so you're gonna be the understudy, and I want you for this studio." And then just being just trying to be responsible and everything. Um, I was doing all the lines, and then suddenly, oh, I'm actually just Jude now, and it's like, oh, well, this is more responsibility. Um, but I'm very content with being here because um, Vince has, he has put a lot of trust in me to uh, play these characters as he sees fit. He, you know, he's very, he wants them as just played right, and he'll tell you like how he wants these things, like how he wants each line said, like what kind of emphasis on some words he wants, um, and again, just to have so much faith to perform these characters, and in in the not as long as of a time as I was there, like it felt like so quick that I had these huge honors and opportunities, and it's been great being here because everyone builds each other up whenever we need just some advice or anything, or just a shoulder to cry on, or just day-to-day things. It's been very nice. We're just gonna say it simply as that. It's been very nice. It's been heartwarming. It's been just a wonderful time being in this studio, and there's always work, which is nice. I love work. I love putting my voice to good use. I love making weird noises. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I did not get emotional. It's fine.
I was gonna say, Smitty, do we need to butter him up anymore?
I totally didn't get
Do we need to
emotional.
butter?
It's fine.
My
It's
man, you have been making these characters for what? Like how long? I remember you telling me a decade.
Yeah, I literally have been making. Actually, it's now over. It's like 13 years I've been making like the characters
Jeez.
like Julius, Sunavi, Ivan, Kid 13, Vermillo. Like all those characters are like 13 years old. And then of course the Veiled Garden group of like the Ocean family, that's like even older. That's like 21 years in the process.
And
Wow.
and you just you made this studio, and you've given these roles to people that you trust, and I mean that's dope. That's dope. Like, you know exactly, just from hearing somebody's voice, you know exactly who you can trust for the part. Not a lot of people can just do that.
Yeah. I've definitely had directors put me in roles that are like not fit for my voice at all. They're like, "Hey, you voice this." I'm like, "Okay, it sounds weird coming out of that mouth, but sure."
Yeah, no, that's a whole nother talent skill I want to teach directors, but they're just now in that whole thing of like, we don't want to listen to you, old man. We'll only listen to Amanda Huford or Essio or Jimmy or Elise Lockhart or Kaiser Neko. It's like, motherfucker, I do this too.
Yeah, Vince actually does some acting, and it's like,
but I digress.
He's good at it.
I digress. The other question I wanted to really ask you guys was, for all the stuff in just Hollow Sands, how do you guys feel about like this big jump of just being like secondary main protagonists, or like these other antagonists, to being like the focal main characters in this overarching story? Because I know a lot of actors, when they would hear this, they're just like, oh, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I can match up. But y'all just kind of hit the ground running in such a way that I didn't even expect y'all to knock it out of the park. But how do you guys feel about this whole big role now in your laps for like the entirety of Phase 1?
Diz, do you want to go?
Sure. Well, for me personally, it was my first main character role. Like, I have been in other VA groups before, but until the mage role, Julius role, like, I had always been secondary or extra. So I think that part of the motivation for me, the hit the ground running type of thing, was just being super excited to be more active in a project. And yeah, it's fun. Like, I love my secondary roles and my extra roles, but like being a main role in something, it just has a nice feel to it.
Yeah, like, there have always been some decent roles that, you know, I've enjoyed no matter how small, but like, it was like with Jude, like I was saying earlier, you know, I was just gonna be the understudy, and that's all I expected. Like, I just expected to be like just the backup in case the main one didn't come in. And then, you know, it felt like a promotion. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember the conversation I had with you, Vince, about you know, this story and these characters, and then like you were very passionate about it because this was something that has been, you know, on your mind and in your heart for a long time, and you wanted it to come to fruition. And you said, hey, I want you to be the Magi, and you were like, this is a very important character, and you know, I feel like you could do well with it. And you know, I'm not one to like brush off. First of all, I'm not one to just brush off a character like, okay, yeah, sure, this is whatever. I like, if this character means so much to you, you know, I'm gonna do my best for it. Again, like, it was such a huge honor to do it because, and you wanted it to give it to me, and you know, Diz being the mage, two halves of the same coin. It was nice, and I wasn't sure, you know, until you told me later, like, oh, they're two people, we're gonna have to combine it and do the same, you know, lines at the same time. It's like, what you got a Dragon Ball Z fusion? But yeah, legit, it was it was such a huge honor to, perform a character that was, so meaningful to you, and, that was deep down in your heart for so long. And again, you put a lot of faith in us, and you put a lot of trust in us, and you tell us how thankful we are that we're here, and that's all I could ask for. I think I broke him.
It's not that. I was starting to get like a dry throat, so I was trying to drink some water.
Stay hydrated, everybody.
Stay hydrated. No tears.
No tears. But I enjoy hearing all this stuff from you guys, because every time I'm sitting with the founders and we're going over different meetings while talking over certain stuff, like it'll be us just hanging out and then we're just all of a sudden in meetings out of nowhere. We want to make sure you guys are enjoying yourselves for not only what you're doing with us, but you're also enjoying just being here, since we want to make this entire team into a big family. Although we also want it to be a success, obviously, but it's family first over like just being a soulless company. Like you're gonna be in this thing, you're gonna be in that thing. I know you're in a scandal, Vic, but I gotta fire you because shut up. I'd rather build something unlike when I worked for NBC and PBS Kids and all those other assholes where they're just like, they wanted to do the shadiest shit to get you where you needed to be. I'd rather give you guys an actual platform where even if I don't have it, I want to make sure you guys can go on to make the millions of ducats you deserve. That's all I've ever wanted as a director.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. And obviously we're very grateful and we appreciate it, because you give us, you help us keep some hope.
I'm just trying to keep hope alive, man. That's all we can really do in these weird times of, can I leave my house yet? No! In fact, we're gonna take away concerts and conventions from you. Okay. Hey, can I go driving now? No! In fact, we're gonna lock up the states to have you stuck. Okay. We're like in a fucking John Mulaney sketch right now.
I love hearing people like, see, I haven't been able to experience that because my day job is in healthcare, and so I work anyway. But
But I guess the last question I want to ask you guys, because we've been at this whole this is gonna be one of the bigger Cove Club episodes because of all the chit chat we've done today. But the last question I want to really ask you guys is, for all that's coming up in the upcoming decade, what do you think will be the key role that people are gonna be like, oh, this was the decade where Diz was this role, or Smitty was that role? It could even be people in the studio like, this was the decade where this was India's role, or this was the decade that this was Della's role, or Mel's role, or Sybil's like anybody. If you don't want to talk about yourselves, like, what do you think would be the one role from the studio where that's the one you remembered for the decade?
I want to say Jude.
I was actually going to say Smitty as Jude as well.
Well, I mean, that's your boy.
Yeah. I don't know what it'd be.
I mean, like, this little
Maybe to me.
shit's gonna go through everything. Wide range of emotions.
Yeah. I was I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Really? Okay. Well, I guess this is like, I don't know, fam. I don't think they got me in the first quarter, but maybe they'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like me as tree number 5, that'll be my year.
Well, guys, it's been a blast recording with these two young gentlemen, but it's getting to be that time where I gotta finish this pork chop. Like it's been tempting me to get that A1 sauce, and I'm like, nah, fam, I gotta do this whole sit down with y'all.
It's just been sitting on your lap.
And aside from that, I gotta
Wait,
gear up because
You haven't been eating it this whole time?
I've just been trying to be polite. Like, I'm gonna eat my Cheddar Bay biscuit, though, but this pork chop, I'm waiting. Priorities. But yeah, aside from like the pork chop thing, I also gotta do some homework for some upcoming scripts for 2021, because not only am I trying to get some stuff ready for these guys, but I'm also trying to gear up for like our first ever official film that we're gonna post specifically on Spotify first before we get animators involved in 2027. Like, I want to get the audio out first and then get it animated, exclusively for Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all that sort of stuff, because that movie is gonna be crazy. And then I gotta make sure I get some other stuff, because I got a big thing prepared for Diz and Smitty coming up soon. That's gonna be them returning as Julius, of course, because now that they've said they want to do the prologue, I'm actually thinking about doing like at least a setup of Before the Fallen for at least their character, Brookie's character of Aeon, and introducing another character that's going to be in the sequel miniseries that they're going to be sharing the screen time with, obviously. I might also be on the lookout for a official VA for Oswin, so if y'all are on Twitter, make sure y'all are looking out, because I will probably be reaching out for people on that front. And then introducing and having the death of the only vampiric student that Savitar ever had, which is probably one of the most boring characters ever made. He's an opera singing vampire that his main ability of fighting is when he's doing Don Giovanni and Tartuffe to make attacks happen.
Oh no.
That's some Shadow Hearts abilities right there.
Don Giovanni and Tartuffe. He makes people recover health by singing the songs in Italian for the magic flute.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I fucking hated that character in the manga so much because I had to write in Italian every single thing in the panels.
Did you get good at Italian?
Pochito di italiano. But,
Damn.
aside from all of that, now that I'm going to be setting that up for them, it's not going to come out until, like, 2022, because 2021 is going to be crazy, as is. Other than that, I'm just trying to get some itty-bitty things set up, because we're trying to get the stream team back up and running for y'all on Twitch, where if y'all haven't heard already, we've been starting a new series because the Panda founder of Riftwave, where both Diz and Smitty have been in some episodes, where Smitty was with us for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
You poor soul.
And Diz was suffering with us in The Last Airbender. My soul is still hurting.
Yeah.
And just aside from that, the whole studio's on vacation until the, time of this recording, we're on break until the 5th because people in the United States still celebrate the 4th of July, so, since I'm a... aside from all that sort of stuff, where the studio's on break until the 5th of July, and we're also gearing up for the release of Lost Tides in late July, with the next 2 episodes of Let's Do Art coming up soon for July, if people submit their lines in on time. And a few other things. We're just having a very busy time, except for the cast and crew that's on vacation. Since I'm the head leader, I gotta do like everything like bada bing, bada boom, muffa. So it's a fun time for me. This is a fun time, I guess. But I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to Smitty and Diz and have enjoyed Hollow Sands, because although it's not my best show, like it's one of my my better shows, obviously, but it definitely could have been better. Like, I've talked to other directors that, like, we got the plot and everything, but it seemed like you were pulling your punches, where I kind of feel like I was too. And the future series where they're going to be is going to be great, where I can give you a snippet about it, audience, which it's going to be set in a different version of Australia in the main universe, where the setting is involving Aborigines and aliens.
Okay.
That's all I can say, because
Alright.
when I'm stopping this recording, only Diz and Smitty are going to know the full story.
Yeah.
I know, I'm an evil bastard.
That's fine.
But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this extra long Cove Club, where if you guys really did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment below about which star from our cast you think I should have a sit down with next. I might be able to finally convince Yenny and Sarah Ruth Thomas to be like, can you sit down with me? It's like, boss, we're busy trying to do this other stuff. We'll get with you. I don't know.
Just throwing shade out there to everybody. Just let's go.
It's not really shade when they're actually that
No,
busy.
yeah, yeah.
It's true. It's true. From misery to happiness to be.
Sorry about that. Where was I? Right. So we're gonna be finally getting some stuff with that. If you guys hit us in comments below, make sure you subscribe for more upcoming stuff of Cove Club, of our actual upcoming shows and our shorts, and our upcoming movie in 2025. If I can get all of the cast that I need. Oh boy, it's gonna be a big casting call. That's literally gonna be us needing like 70 different VAs for just one film.
Wow.
Oh god. And make sure you guys support us up on patreon.com/Ridescope Studios so that we can start officially giving these people the big fat paychecks they deserve, as well as helping us get our first official office, because oh my god, I would love to just nap in my office for 7 hours of the day.
Let's go.
Like, that's all I want, to nap for 7 hours and then just come in and then spend the rest of the day literally telling everyone what the plan is, what's happening, as I roll on a chair everywhere. Like, all right, guys, it's lunchtime. All right, guys, it's time to get back to work. All right, Smitty, I need you in the booth. All right, Diz, it's time for you to stream. Go to the game room. All right, founders, it's lunchtime. Like, we have lunch after you guys because shut up. But yeah, help us with all that sort of stuff, guys, because they deserve the biggest, fattest paychecks you could ever imagine. And yeah, just keep an eye out for all of our upcoming releases from Ridescope Studios, a brand new wave of entertainment. And we will see you all next time. Have a good one.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Maybe start to burn for a time.